And we're live. Good evening, good morning, and good night. Welcome to another episode of Hong Kong House of Cards. Tonight's scene is a social scene taking place in the Emerald Mother, of all places. We have several people arriving tonight. We've got a certain vampire, a certain Quajin, a recently arrived mortal psychic, and our resident ex-technocrat, and a something that wears a mask. And something's yay. And everyone will arrive at their own leisure. If possible, Dimitri would probably arrive bringing Ava to the club. She's been here once before, but they didn't do too much that night, so he'll bring her in and head for the bar. After divesting themselves of weapons, of course.
I guess Adriana will head in. You guys have never heard a character description.
I think Dimitri met her once at the museum.
Yeah, at the museum.
He knows she's a vampire, because she told him. That's about
I met you at the museum.
Yeah, he was there. That was Dimitri. I haven't had another character.
Of course I was there. It was my museum, my opening. Anyways, she's got red hair, darker than mine. She's wearing a little medical mask to cover up her mouth. And
in Hong Kong isn't that unusual.
And let's see. She's just in a t-shirt and blue jeans today. Yeah, unusual for her, isn't it? I can't, I'm sorry. It's too late. She... Sorry.
It's all good.
Let's see. I got she turns in a bag, but she takes out a book. Has no weapon.
Alright. And, who else we got? I guess it would be, Evan, that would be. Want to go next?
I apparently have to be molested at the door by a specific troll. That has to be a thing.
Uh-oh.
You have to pay extra for
that. Yeah. Totally worth it. I'd like a strength 7 ass pounding, please.
Oh,
God.
The less we know about that, the better.
Shire walks to the door, kind of in his normal kind of very skippity step. What he does is, as he walks to the door, he doesn't even look. He just unbuckles his belt and just hands the belt to the waiting troll. As what was going to say, he's got quite a bad cut on one of his hands that's somewhat seeping through the bandage. But other than that, is in his normal cheerful demeanor.
Would the spirits there heal it, or are they only going to deal with things that happen there?
Yes, they'll heal it, so it's slow. It's actually healed up and it stops seeping.
He looks down, contemplates for a moment, and looks at the building and says, "I would like that back, please."
I'm glad you're here now. I don't have to worry about answering role questions while playing Overwatch. Notice me.
He kind of looks confused at the troll and says, "Your building is not obliging." After he has handed over his weapons, then he will walk in to the building and will take a seat at the bar. as ever, being constantly amused by everyone who was dancing and making a general idiot of themselves.
I'm glad you did. And now we're
Loud
Okay,
noises, such loud noises.
sorry, I was about to say something real quick. As you ask it, I would like that back, please. You get a motherly presence in your mind saying, "Sorry, honey, but no."
Okay. I'll kind of look sullenly at the building as one would look sullenly at their mom and go, okay, and walk into the building.
Nice.
He will look at Dimitri when he enters. He will walk up and cock his head and say, I now know your name.
Oh, good. Don't use it too much. I might need it someday.
No. You see, you have a name that you call yourself, but then you have what you are, and what you are is an oath breaker.
He tilts his head a little bit. Yes,
From now on,
I suppose that's correct.
From now on, I shall call you Oathbreaker. Hello, Oathbreaker.
He doesn't seem bothered by it. All right.
Before taking a seat at the bar and ordering a drink. Yay!
I don't even need to roll a subterfuge on this one. He doesn't find that at all insulting.
He's not attempting to insult you. He's just being uber literal.
Well, it's technically true, so...
Anyone else wish to enter?
We're still waiting on an Obi, and if Charles is bringing a person in.
Yeah, the Yi, will enter about this point. She will kind of stop briefly at the door to be frisked, but she has no weapons on her. She has a tight form-fitting, satin top and some black dark wash jeans that kind of flow over some boots. And her hair is down like long. She stopped at the door to be frisked, and she kind of looks over the room before kind of slowly proceeding to the bar. She kind of stops behind someone she thinks she recognizes, a gleam perhaps bouncing off a bald head. It's like excuse me, Dimitri?
It's a completely different guy. You just approached the bouncer. I'm sorry. That's good. He turns. Wait, actually, out of character. What did she say for him to call her? Just Z or?
Yeah, Z.
Okay, just making sure my brain was not working for a second.
No problem.
Z. Good evening.
Good evening. She smiles. Up to your old habits, huh? Drinking?
Something along those lines. I should probably introduce you. Z, this is Ava. Ava, this is Z. She's one of my associates.
Hello, Z.
Ava. It's a pleasure to meet you. You're quite a deal more beautiful than he described.
Thank you.
You're quite welcome.
Has he offered you a drink already, or can I do the honor?
You can, I guess.
She smiles and she will pass a colorful bill across the table to the bartender to pay for a round for them. Anything you would like, my dear?
I'm new to drinking, so...
She kind of
That's
thinks
very
for a
interesting.
second.
So am I, interestingly enough. It's a rather interesting experience. Yeah.
Just be careful not to drink the green stuff. It'll leave you a little bit loopy.
Oh?
She thinks for a moment. It's like, what's green? I don't know any green liqueurs.
It's something that the barkeep gave me once. It's not the strongest of drinks, but it has hallucinogenic properties.
That sounds interesting.
Let's have some of that.
It's actually real ones.
Chase the green fairy. Chase it all the way home.
Z kind of looks over. Does the guy actually have a mask?
Yep.
Yes, he's wearing a full mask and is covered from head to toe in black fabric.
She kind of smiles. She's like, oh, well, you're a strange one. Hello.
Normality is merely the perspective of those who have, shall we say, a sterile mind. And he will give a kind of a half bow.
Hmm. She bows and she adapts a face to indicate that she has been properly chastised. It's like my most humble apologies.
Quick question. What is your character's banality?
7.
Oh, so cool. You are less banal than most people. I like you now.
Most people are usually at 7, actually.
Are they? Okay. You are just as banal as the people. I like you.
For banality in the room right now, we got 7 for Z, 8 for Ava, 10 for Dimitri, and I have no idea what Adriana would be at. But vampires tend to be kind of high.
Yeah,
my banality is 8.
Okay.
So, yes, he will. The voice underneath the mask sounds relatively cheerful. I should have probably mentioned this prior to this. It's very hard to judge if it's a man or a woman.
Sure.
But yeah, it kind of you can tell it's cheerful from looking at there are piercing purple eyes that are staring back at you from under the mask, and it says, "So my question becomes, why is it that someone would wish to be normal?"
I certainly do not. But in light of my offense, perhaps I could buy you a drink?
Oh, no offense has been caused. I am merely pondering. For if one does not contemplate, then what is the point of having the means to contemplate? Thank you for your offer, however.
She kind of smiles. You're welcome, I think. If one does not drink, what is the purpose of alcohol? She kind of offers as a retort. That's all I got. I'm sorry.
Because they dance so beautifully when they dance with Bacchus.
I'm sorry. Suppressing a coughing fit. I'm not sure she knows who Bacchus is. She's not really much into Eastern folklore or Western folklore.
Dimitri kind of leans over. It's if I'm not mistaken, a euphemism for Dionysus, wine, that sort of deal. If I remember my root words correctly.
Yes. Well.
He will spin on his heel, and he will kind of point at Adriana right in the forehead, and he will...
What do you
Beg your pardon?
Why do you think I'm broken?
Because you are. Why are you broken?
Why are you broken?
At this opportune
That's a very interesting question.
At this opportunity, Rex comes up.
What is the, like, children and such? That's really, really weird.
We're in Hong Kong. It's legal here.
I actually.
Okay, it's just kind of like there were children and they were creepy.
Okay.
Oh, I got some childlings in the bar. Sorry.
We've already gotten into the rape wagon yesterday. I'm not going to go there ever again.
What happened yesterday?
Somebody asked a 14-year-old boy to go to the back of his wagon with him for a cup of tea.
What? Oh, no.
That's exactly what happened.
God.
It's okay. They asked Dimitri to come with because he looked, totally reputable.
Oh God, really?
He didn't.
Really? He just looks. Riker will come up, look at the masked man, be polite.
Sorry, beg your pardon?
He'll just come up to the masked man he's met before, and he just tell him, be polite to the guests.
It's not stop it.
Courtesy is different for different cultures. I don't think he means to be impolite. Oh shit, we just lost him. He just disconnected.
No. Well, in that case, you. No, can't do that. That's bad.
You Fusro dot him right out of the room.
You and go. You are more stagnant than the rest of them. Is that?
If one would prefer to call it that. I'm a bit more orderly than most.
You're
Yes.
a bit more purple than most. Why do you hide behind a mask?
Because his face is not my face, and it disconcerts me to look at it.
A face that is not a face. Or is it not your face, and that's what troubles you?
It is not my face.
Can I roll an intelligence check? Guys, there's one. Intelligence what? Enigmas.
Dimitri kind of gestures at the mask, and that is more comforting to you?
It appears to contemplate. I say he because it's my natural pronoun, but
Understood.
he replace it with it. Seems to contemplate what you've said for a moment and says, palest alabaster, white marble and jade, opal, sapphire, ruby. These are all lies. So too is the underneath. I merely show a more pleasing lie.
Okay, she's gonna take a wild guess. She needs to roll intelligence to figure out that he's fake. He's very weird.
That's not necessarily enough to go on, though.
Yeah.
Because you could just be a weirdo, again.
Well, to be fair, he's been talking about stagnancy and stuff which could be interpreted as banality, but I don't know how easily that would be interpreted. Okay, so Dimitri just kind of looks over at ZE. So everything finding you well this evening?
I think it's so. At least I've found everything that I've needed this evening. It's
We
been
haven't
quite pleasant evening thus far. Haven't had to punish many sinners, she says with a chuckle.
I'm sure there's always more of those than one can handle.
And you?
Taking it a bit easier tonight.
Just like...
Oh no. Maybe we lost another person.
They're dropping like flies, people.
Is it a connection issue, or, I mean, is this like what's going to happen when I host Hangouts?
There's no tower. There's no tower.
I don't know. I mean, I've been having a hard time running tabletop simulator games today, and it's not letting me do my overlay, so give me a moment.
Okay. And then there were 4. Oh, wait, and we got one of them back. Welcome back, Charles. Charles, no, get out of my head! Oh, sorry. Old X-Men jokes. Anyways. He just kind of looks over at Adriana. I believe we met once before, didn't we? At the museum?
Yes.
He racks his brain briefly because he doesn't have eidetic memory. Was it Adriana or?
Yes, and now roll intelligence for your name. Oh, she got it. Dimitri, is it?
Yep, that would be right. Yay, and a certain Aetheryte's going to pop in. My goggle buddy.
Oh, it's a Serena.
And yes, Serena walks into the Emerald Mother at this point.
All right. At present, there are several people sitting at the bar. You've got Dimitri, Z, Eva, who is a rather pale person. It would be impossible to mistake her for a vampire, honestly. And Adriana.
Righto. Serena's gonna walk right up to the bar. She's gonna put $20 down on the bar, point to a bottle of whiskey, and get handed it.
Hitting the bottle rather hard tonight, are we?
Yeah, you know why.
Was that in a way or you know why? Sorry.
You know why.
Why?
You know why. Charles, your TV is very loud.
Charles,
Yes.
we can hear the TV.
Sorry.
So who's your new friends?
Yes, I believe you've probably met Adriana. He nods cautiously, like he's not sure if the two would have met, but you've both been in the city longer than him.
Have they met? I know she met Sephora, but...
Yeah, I met Sephora. I haven't met you.
Oh, no. Okay.
Adriana is of the house of... crap, I always forget. Which one's the house that's the vampires?
Staves.
He just kind of nods.
They're the house of the things that they don't like.
That makes sense. He just kind of nods towards Adriana. Adriana, Staves, nods towards himself. As you know, Dimitri, Pentacles, nods towards Ava. Ava, Pentacles, and then towards Z. And he's like, host. Z.
He chuckles at that.
I apologize. Apparently, I got dragged by to the rape wagon. I am now back.
It's okay. We had an Ari join us. There's a Aetheryte in the room.
He's allowed to roll.
One of the more obvious Aetherites, actually, because she's wearing big, thick goggles. And
dare I hope that your banality is less than 7?
Yeah, my banality is like 5.
Oh, thank God.
I like him best. He is now. She is now best friend.
Yeah, it's
yeah. 7, 8, and 10.
Yeah, no, my banality is like 5 because I'm drinking very heavily and am insane. So.
Oh, in that case, you could be at like a 4.
No, 5 is fine. That's like a changeling grunt. That's pretty awesome, though.
Yeah. So yeah. Well, I'm Serena. House of Pentacles, Son of Aether, all that fun jazz.
House of Pentacles. So you know Jason?
I know of Jason.
Oh, he's my buddy.
Cool.
He's adorable, isn't he? Like my little brother.
I mostly keep to myself and drink very heavily.
As your friend Dimitri said, I'm ZE. She smiles and she will send her head like to shake.
So you said you mostly drink. Why would that be?
Well, not all of us who gain the power to alter the cosmos as we see fit gain it very easily. And
Sorry.
some of us have things in our heads that won't shut up unless we drink very heavily.
Hmm.
And Serena punctuates that by taking a big old swig of whiskey.
Dimitri's
But, yeah,
looking around to make sure there's not too many mortals within earshot.
Adriana just asked Sorina a question.
I didn't hear it. Yes?
You said something about hearing voices in your head, and she's like, is that your avatar?
And Serena will give a thumbs up. She's also a little concerned about mortals, so she kept it sort of lowish, but
Fair enough.
yeah.
Oh,
But yeah, I've been trying to work on a solution to the power armor cops that are all around the city.
Oh, that. I actually have a solution for it. I'm still working on details. Hopefully, with all the resources and individuals, we might be able to come up with something more permanent. But you and I discussed that last time, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
Any new developments on your end?
Well, I just built up a small laboratory that should be able to get any of the exotic materials I need.
Hmm.
it's the scale of 1 to 10. How many mortals are there? 1 being least, 10 being most.
Yes.
That's not a number.
You're right.
He's playing Overwatch. Let him play Overwatch. We have a Charles here anyways.
Okay, he's been playing it 4 days in a row.
Shut up.
Well, I don't get to see my fiance.
I'm right here, I know. Don't get me.
Uh-oh.
Smackdown. Smackdown evidence. Smackdown evidence.
Welcome to the Days of Our Lives. This is the Tiger Richardson camp menu.
We wanted to see what it would look like.
Brace for shock. Go Fido. Go Fido.
Okay, so Demetrius kind of hums. Oh, yes, Serena. Did I tell you anything about the prototype I designed?
No, you haven't.
Oh, here, take a look at the specs, but be discreet. You know, he keeps a watch over to make sure there's no mortals watching you, and hands you a tablet. It's got some specs for. Well, actually, you've got some science, I'm guessing, or technology or something.
I've even got hypertech if you need it.
Good. What sciences do you have? Just trying to see if it's something relevant.
I've got physics. I've got craft electronics.
Okay, you'll get a grasp of some of it. There's also a little video that would probably illustrate it. It's a full body suit that's essentially like a diving suit almost. It's meant to cover the entire body, hands, eyes, everything, and it has a effect when activated. And according to the simulation, it looks something like this.
That's neat.
Extremely. Yes, and so yeah, it's a simulation, bear in mind, not actual footage, but he just kind of looks like, I've got one, it's working so far. Could make more of them.
You know, that'd be reasonably easy for me to make as well.
Yes, but will yours work with a observer without shorting out?
It'll work as long as you turn it on with no observer.
This one will work even if there is one. Benefits of working within the consensus.
I could probably do something reasonably consensual for adaptive camo and all that fun jazz. But
But in this case, you don't need to because we've already created one. And as I said, we can create more of it. There are
just
one or two limitations, but...
But I'm still working on... I'm still working on the shorting out the suits.
I still think that's a good goal to have, but
when I say I'm still working on it, I mean I'm probably a few days from finishing it.
Well, that's good then. Oh, who'd we lose? Oh, Kim. She's back.
This one wonders something, if you may ask. Why is it that this one, Oathbreaker, and this one, I do not know its name, do the same thing, but yet she is less broken than he is?
Technically speaking, it's them that are broken. Just saying, by my perspective.
Serena's gonna take another swig, and she's gonna say, "My science is wondrous. His science is reductionist."
Interesting.
It's a difference of opinion. I don't want to offend anyone.
That's why I was using the technical terms.
Thank you.
So, what you're saying is, one creates wonderment, one creates control.
Yes.
That's actually not too illogical.
That
Fairly
is sad.
accurate. But bear in mind, I did leave them, so my style is no longer completely in line with what they do.
Oh.
Oh, you're a reality deviant now.
Did she actually say that?
Oh.
Okay, I was going to say, like, oh, God. I might have to make a willpower roll on that one. What did you call me?
What did she call you? I didn't quite hear what she said.
Get in the candy van.
Oh. So what you're saying is you are in fact going to devote the rest of your magical experience to building the perfect ice cream man to lure kids to you.
Yes, exactly. And it was Adriana's idea.
For science magic child molestation.
I need orphans to power my giant robots!
Run, you little bastards, run!
Oh, God. And thankfully, none of this conversation took place in character, or Z, you'd be killing us.
Anyways, so yeah.
In any case.
All the sinners!
But yes, that is the fundamental difference between him and I.
Another way of phrasing it, from my perspective, would be that the science that I pursue is what is accepted by the world and a logical extension of it. What others pursue is a more alternative science.
He kind of it contemplates that for a second, kind of strokes the masked side of its head with its thumb and forefinger in a kind of a contemplative manner before it says, "So, then, Oathbreaker, why is it that you do not simply join him and his creation style? If that is indeed that you are trying to change yourself from those from whom you broke your oath, is he not the most logical next step?"
I don't intend to change my style much further than it already has. I'll have to adapt it to work with elements that I would not normally have worked with. I'm sure it will degrade over time, so to speak, but I'm not planning on wholesale... He just shakes his head. I'm not planning on becoming an etherite. No offense to the cause.
That's fine. I'm pretty sure some of the more hardliner etherites wouldn't accept you anyways.
Precisely. It's pretty hard to get kicked out of that organization, but I would probably be in the running for it.
You think it's hard to get kicked out of that organization.
It's not. I always thought it was.
Publish or perish. If you don't do the work, the organization sort of pulls out its support and eventually kicks you out.
I'd never heard that. Interesting.
Yeah. It's like any other scientific community. If you don't do the work, eventually you don't get the goods.
True. In our case, the information we publish is more clandestine, but I suppose a similar principle applies. If you don't pull your weight, you don't stay on the project.
Exactly. And you don't get any fancy titles after the professor in your name, so...
True.
But you were saying that you had found...
Sorry, you cut out.
Cut off there.
Evan, repeat. Or we just lost him again.
The Lich is dead! Long live the Lich!
Give him like a week, his factory will regenerate him.
Exactly.
You killed the Lich.
He's probably in his bad connection area of his house.
He'll be back.
Did it freeze?
Huh? No, you're still here.
Oh, okay. You guys just got really quiet all of a sudden.
Well, waiting for Evan to get back, though.
Well, welcome back, Evan. We didn't hear what you said.
I was going to say, that's the thing about liches, we always come back.
Yay.
Nice. What was the thing that your character said?
I honestly can't remember.
Oh, God.
That's right.
I'm going to be up late at night trying to remember. No, I'm just kidding. He'll come
Knowing
back.
this character, it was either something completely profound or completely batshit.
Why can't it be both?
Continue on.
But yes, we do still have to publish our findings. We are enlightened scientists, even though we're no longer part of the technology.
community.
So
Exactly.
we have to make sure that our theories are available to any Aetherite who wishes to use them.
I'm familiar with the scientific community. That's what I was before.
Oh, we lost another one.
Serena will give your things gone. So what's her character's name again?
Adriana.
Adriana. She'll give Adriana another thumbs up, and she'll say, "Yeah, so was I." And having a partial awakening in the middle of a physics symposium while you're giving a speech is not a very fun experience.
Dimitri kind of like nods as if, oh yes, I remember. I looked that up before.
Yeah.
I think Arthur.
Also, Adriana, if once she says that, you definitely realize that she has the discredited and mental patient flaws, because that happened.
Yeah, she went loco in the middle of the presentation.
Yep.
Nice. So basically what you're saying is everyone's nightmare about appearing naked in front of the class actually happened? That's
Except worse. Except naked while yelling at your professors that they don't know what they're talking about and trying to prove their theories wrong.
Yeah, all of physics doesn't make sense anymore, and she's trying to rewrite the entire physics book, ripping out all the pages. Yeah.
That's a class 2 mental shenanigan right there, I don't reckon.
Nice.
I was sort of I sort of studied this stuff before I became this thing, or this. She'll gesture to herself.
As you start saying this thing, Zon, without looking at you, absentmindedly raises his hand and starts poking you in the side of the head. He's not even looking at you. He's just poking you in the side of the head. I like how no one is stopping this.
I think we're all waiting to see what she does.
Bill, can give him something to drink to distract him.
And since there's no ST here, I'm just going to assume that Bill does.
Yeah, sorry, I don't play Bill because I would get him wrong.
He looks down at the drink, looks up at the fact he's poking you, is apparently more interested by the poking, and continues.
Serena takes another swig of whiskey.
And as he counts 113 pokes exactly, he stops.
God, that took a while.
113, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
I liked the number.
Prime number.
It's 2 past 11:01.
So, you are trying to come up with, how would you say, tools to fight the technocracy, yes?
Yes.
That'd be about right.
I would ask why you do not simply just defeat them.
At that, Dimitri is just going to start laughing. He's not going to stop for a good minute.
As much as I hate it, I think I have to agree with. I think I have to agree with the progenitor over there. They are vast, and beating something like that, you need
Something larger.
You need a number of little steps at the very least.
The best you can hope
Beating
to do.
one of their devices.
Oh, they don't just rely on devices or manpower or anything else. The power of the technocracy is the system. They control the system.
Remember when I said earlier that I had the power to reshape reality? They have the power to do.
He raises his finger and he says, "You have the power to change how you perceive reality."
They have the power to make it stick.
Yes, and they've done that. That's the system that we use.
There were dragons, and they erased them. There was an ether, and she glares at Dimitri for a split second, and then takes a swig, and they erased it.
Before my time, but yes.
So, in my era, there were dragons that were ridden by men, and men killed the dragons.
This is beyond just killing the dragons.
This is making people believe they never existed.
Not only making people believe they never existed, but making people who look through time no longer see them. Making them as equivalent to never existing as something that once existed could have happened.
Erasing something so that it never even existed is rather impressive.
That was a special fighting blow in your nose.
Ideas because we're already having problems.
What?
What?
Was that Charles saying something?
I think he was trying.
You can do it, Charles. We believe in you.
Okay. I'm
Yes.
trying here. Okay. Can you hear me? Y'all hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Riker just says, yeah. Let's not give the people that have the potential to break reality ideas to fuck everyone else over, and we're still having problems with them to begin with.
I'm willing to bet that there is some technocracy plan somewhere to make it so that everyone in this room, with the possible exception of Dimitri, never existed.
Oh no, I'd be an embarrassment. I'd be off the books also.
There you go. And they're doing that process somewhere.
It's called the Collegium of History, and they are a thing.
Yeah. It's when you have those kinds of abilities, simply defeating them is not a thing. Also, I seem to remember plans to build umbral bases orbiting the Earth.
Dimitri just kind of shrugs. I failed dimensional science. I don't know how many times I can say that.
Well, I'll confer with the Ethernauts, but I'm pretty sure they're still a thing. If they were planning it 100 years ago, then they're probably still a thing.
That would be the Void Engineers' territory, not mine.
Yeah.
And there aren't any of those in the city that I know of yet.
Not a bad satellite or something.
But beyond that range.
Let me put it to you this way. When my people were part of that organization in the 1860s, ironically 100 years before Neil Armstrong did it, we had people on the moon.
Yes. They don't like admitting that. Mostly because it was your people who did it.
Yeah. And it wasn't the Void Engineers.
Yeah, exactly.
I seem to recall also reading a paper by the Difference Engineers around that time. Serena picks up her hand and rubs her temple a little bit. She says, they had predicted a number of things that ended up happening decades before it happened.
Wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, that was their thing, is they'd give these big sweeping predictions with mathematical probabilities, and they'd just happen.
The real mental quandary would be determining if they were predicting it or making it happen.
There's a difference?
Predictions can fail.
Yeah, but if you believe in the prediction hard enough, and you make efforts to make it happen...
In which case, they fall into the latter category.
Exactly.
The former category could be avoided, so most likely they were making it happen.
But they predicted the 1920s stock market crash, and I'm trying to recall when I read that paper. When Tesla read that paper, damn it. In 1880. And I recall also World War I being on that list.
That would not have been a popular thing to decree at that time.
No.
Especially with World War II and Nazi Germany in power.
Oh, and we lost Charles.
No, it wouldn't have been a very popular thing to decree, especially amongst the organization that it was decreed in.
Which is why we have the Collegium now. We focus more on what already happened than determining the next step. The next step is a much more gradual process now. Of course, I say we in the former sense. Shakes his head. And then drinks arrived for everyone.
By the way, if you don't stop him, Dimitri, she walks over and pats you on the head and says, "There, Oathbreaker. You'll get it eventually."
Did you just touch a Banality 10?
Yeah, I
Yes.
was going to say.
That hurts.
Once again, I can't. You see, the thing is that I can't be hurt in this place. It heals me when I don't want it to.
You can still experience the pain.
You would not want to even go near him, to be honest.
This is why I may or may not have the masochist disadvantage.
It's still going to
That would not be a masochism thing. That would be that, oh god, every prime instinct of myself is saying don't go near him. He's complete and total anathema to you.
We'll totally willpower roll it to do it.
That's fine.
Technically, prior to M20, there's a changeling book that implies that technocrats kill changelings from 50 paces.
Yeah, that's flavor, and Brett's not enforcing that, thankfully.
Yeah.
Hey, we're not going to be that rude.
Next thing you know, like 30 people in this bar just keel over. Just like, oh, shit.
But no,
Technocrat bombs. And someone with a memory
in that case, what he will do is he will walk over to the vampire who he was poking in the head earlier, ask to borrow her arm very politely.
Why aren't you asking ZE? She's sitting next to me.
Well,
Drake?
you're not gonna...
ZE has a lower banality.
He does.
Okay, question.
Y'all,
You're not actually going to take it off, are you?
No, I just wish you to pat him on the head, please.
Alright, she'll go over and pet Dimitri on the head.
There, you'll get it right eventually.
He just
And it has
blinks a
come
few
full
times.
circle.
oh my. Okay. What did I walk into?
I'm being my Mr. Clean head is being patted.
Basically, we worked out he was too high banality for me to want to touch him, so I asked somebody else to pat him on the head for me by proxy.
I'd do it, but I don't really want to touch him either.
Riker doesn't want to touch him either because, well, reasons.
It's quite alright, Oathbreaker. I'm sure one day you will have a friend.
I've got several, actually. I'm sitting next to two of them.
I reiterate that statement. It's quite alright, Oathbreaker. One day you will have a friend.
Looks over at both Drake and Z. Oh, you're not friends, apparently. Did we lose an Obi?
Looks like we lost.
Either that or he just really doesn't want to talk because he'll have to make a subterfuge roll.
Right?
No, I'm still here. Okay.
Hey, it's Nobi.
Yeah. Ziggy just kind of very dramatically kind of just rolls her eyes to that. Just like, yeah, okay.
Although we really like the hot, evil being stare.
So I would very much like to hear more about your Western history. It's very interesting.
Western history?
If you're talking the history of mages, which is what we were talking about a little earlier, I can tell you the big fundamental split between his former people and mine.
Just don't go into the Turing bit without Styles here. I'm sure he'd prefer to explain that one himself.
I wasn't there for that. So all I know on that is rumors. But
same here, actually. Though I'm sure our version that's recorded is different than what you guys would say.
My organization is called the Sons of Ether. And we used to be called the Electrodyne Engineers, and we were part of the Order of Reason. And we were using the concept of the luminiferous ether. And the idea of that is that light is a wave, and therefore it needs a medium to propagate. And we were using that concept of having stuff in space to do wondrous things. We could use its movements to power devices. We could use its material to build spacecraft. We could do things with it. We could use it to communicate possibly to other planets. And that meant that there was also no universal speed limit. So theoretically, we could go to other to other stars with the ether in place.
Mhm.
The problem is we were doing it too fast. As he said, they like things slow and gradual. So they convinced two scientists, Michelson and Morley, to do an experiment, and they altered the results so it appeared there was no ether.
After it had been in use for quite some time.
Yeah.
A bit late.
And then they continued to alter the results of those experiments until it became so ingrained in reality that there was no longer an ether.
You see, I don't believe, quite honestly, it was handled very well. If they had wanted to do that, what we should have done is simply seen where that particular technology would have gone from the beginning, and if we didn't like it, we should have dealt with it then, not let it go on for however many years it was in use.
The final nail was when Einstein created a mathematical model where a universe could exist without it.
So, correct me if I am wrong, but from the sounds of this ether and how you have described it, you use the word consensus, meaning it has to be agreed upon, yes?
By the majority of humanity, yes.
All of reality is agreed upon by observers.
Exactly. So, in this case, the ether, as you call it, is merely a consensus thought of your and their organizations. Because the general...
It's a bit complicated than that.
But if that is indeed the case, and if we are to assume, based on the fact that this is... based on the assessment that this is a secret, the people do not know of ether, or they do not know. So
no,
it is in fact you.
The people know there is no ether.
But the only reason that they know there is no ether is because your founders, when you look back through the annals of time, disbelieved what they themselves believed because of what was written on a piece of paper that had been altered. Their faith was too easily shaken.
It's a bit more than that. Now there's no ether because every high school student learns in physics class that there's no ether. You'd have to alter all of their minds to get an ether back.
But my point is that at the very beginning, it was only you who had your mind shaken. You who were so quick to disbelieve because of a few pieces of paper that had been altered.
It wasn't us. It was the mortals.
My organization disseminated the findings that they had altered and spread them throughout all of the scientific communities, who then disseminated it to the populace. They essentially convinced the population there was no ether.
And we left because they did that.
Yes, it made the ether something that was usable by them to something which was now, as far as the rest of the world was concerned, a disproven theory.
And it made it so mages can't break the rules without consequences.
Before that point, they could use the ether quite easily, because it was believed to be it was part of our reality. Once they removed it, it's no longer possible. For example, if everyone in this room was brought up, and everyone on the planet was brought up believing that we had ray guns, for example, and that they were quite possible. We'd have them in the streets. Everyone would be using them. I could draw one right here, and if I had one, fire it at the ceiling, and it would work. There'd be no problem.
It goes beyond that. If you convince everyone the sky is purple, it will not only be purple, but all the records of it in the past will show that it was purple.
Easier said than done, but yes.
How very interesting. You deal with the irrational, or you deal with the rational, we deal with the irrational. What is, we are what they want to be.
The ether can still be used to a certain degree, but we face those consequences I mentioned when we do so.
Like,
as long as
vampire. I saw that happen once.
As long as even one person believes in the ether, it will be usable by some members of the Sons of Ether.
Then there's enough crazy flat earthers out there that
Trust me, we've tried to erase them a few times.
I'm sure you and your chemtrails did just that. She says with
That's not me. Well, actually, I don't believe that was me, but I'd have to go back and look at the records, but I don't have access to control anymore. I don't think it was me.
Talk to the virtual adepts; they'll have access.
Brett!
Oh my God! It's a Brett! It's a Brett!
It's a wild Brett. Everyone just stop. Let him speak.
I'm sorry, I understand there are people in here that need to die? Was that...
Well, we've been having a discussion about the inner workings of magic, the technocracy, and everything else in the front room of the Emerald Mother for the past half hour.
So this sounds like a perfect opportunity for Mox the Red Star to show up.
Oh, goody.
By the way, Dimitri will order some actual food for himself and Drake and pay for it, and for Z if you need anything.
Yeah, sure. Snack a little bit.
And Serena takes another swig of whiskey.
Parker's going to step off because the banality in that area is getting a little bit too intense for him. And I can bring in somebody else that could weather the banality a little bit better.
Who you got in mind?
My guru.
Bring in the furry. We won't judge you for it.
Serena needs to meet some guru because there's a running gag from an older version of her that I have to bring back.
Oh, God.
It's because guru have these big impressive titles, and so do Sons of Ether.
Okay.
He only has 3.
Oh yeah, Brett, we've been discussing the Collegium of History.
That can't be good.
No,
Well,
then the Collegium wrote something out. Now we haven't been discussing the Collegium of History.
Sadly, that is how it works.
I'm trying to decide, because Arthur actually needs to speak with Styles.
Is Styles here right now?
I can bring in Styles.
Well, if you want to bring in Charlie, that's fine. I can bring in Mox, and we can have a group party.
Alright, we can do Styles and Arthur after the scene if you're feeling up to it.
That's fine. Who knows, maybe I'll botch another Enigma's roll.
Oh my God, no!
Anybody know how bad it is when a Stargazer botches an Enigma roll?
It's like,
Squirrel!
all of a sudden... yeah, pretty much he did that.
Oh no!
Oh no, we lost Mitch. Heaven, no. He'll come back.
Alright, so... Asian-looking fellow dressed as a Shambhala monk will walk up to the door of the Emerald Mother, will hand over his walking stick, which is a rather simplistically ornate monk staff, and then we'll walk in, looking around the place.
I do have one question. Was I actually strip searched walking in here? Because that could have created hilarity.
No, actually you wouldn't have been, because you've got 2 knights in the premises that know better.
Hooray!
Yeah. Yeah.
Remember, Brett, I had the original stupid stick.
Yeah, that's true.
Upon seeing the monk, or the person he met yesterday, Shah walks up to him, and without speaking a word, he takes a beautiful little. It's about the size. It's about half the size of a fist. It's interlocking shards of glass that you can tell come apart in some way, and he hands it to you.
Oh God.
Really is not going to last long today, is he?
He poked me in the head 100.
Oh my God!
He failed. Didn't botch, but failed. All right. So the monk immediately takes the puzzle, walks over to the table in the corner, and begins trying to figure it out. So now this character is now down for the next hour. So I need to come up with a new character to come in.
Okay, I'll bring in Styles.
Styles and Arthur it is!
Yeah.
Styles and
If you
Arthur.
wanted me to bring in Arthur, you just had to say so. Okay.
I would like to point out, I did that to be a kid because I thought he would enjoy it, not to be a dick.
He is enjoying it a lot. It's not like he actually botched. He just failed. So.
As opposed to when he botched. I'm sure that probably pissed him off for a bit.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Like, I can imagine if it botched, and, like, the glass just shattered in your hand when you touched it, and you couldn't tell the puzzle anymore.
What happens if you destroy the puzzle?
That would be innately bad. It'd be like
just
bad on a whole
the
level
puzzle.
of badness.
Alright.
Alright, so after that happens with Mox, Arthur will actually walk in. Those of you who've never seen Arthur before, looks kind of like the picture, except his eyes and his hair are silver. He's wearing a denim jacket, blue jeans, and a light blue t-shirt. He has a couple of bags on him and smells very strongly of the best marijuana you've ever smelled in your life.
That scent is nostalgic.
Like, there are people in Amsterdam that can't make this shit that good. So.
That is some motherfucking good kush!
Alright, so as you were, come on, people.
Dimitri is sitting next to Z and Ava. He'll wave over towards Arthur. Actually, has Arthur met Z?
No, probably hasn't, so... Who's there besides those people?
Serena's sitting at the bar as well.
Okay.
And Adriana, and also the masked fellow.
So 3 of the most banal people around, plus the most unbanal person around, and the nature priest guy walks in.
I do love having Banality 1. It is so wonderful.
Are you childling, or you just have your banality that low?
Beg your pardon?
You childling, or you just have your banality that low?
Why do you think I walk around completely covered? I'm freaking a child underneath all this. And he hates the fact that he is.
Yeah, okay.
Z actually has banality 7, so she's not doing too bad.
Well, then you'll love Bainu, who's in the body of a 17-year-old Greek Adonis, but has the mind of a 7-year-old.
At some point, Serena needs to meet Wan Ping. Assuming Wan Ping's still around.
Yeah, Wan Ping is still around.
Still around and in my control. Yeah. So I know he's still around.
Hey, guys.
Removed.
Yep.
Hi.
Hey,
Bye, Tiger. Have fun at poker.
Later.
Feel like wish I'd kick Sean and Julie's asses. I'm the best SP.
Yes, we know this.
So Arthur will walk up and order an orange soda and say, "How's everybody doing tonight?"
Apparently, I've got a new name.
Besides that banal fucker?
When did I piss in your cornflakes?
I'm not. That's what I've heard the Fae calling you.
No, that's true. I thought. My apologies. I thought you were saying that as a personal thing.
Nope. Just whatever.
Fred, just on a side note, you also been hearing banal rape.
At least I didn't invite you to candy. I could have offered to have them come back to my car to get an immunization. That'd be the equivalent. Hey kid, want to get your flu shot?
No. We all know it's. Do you want to go have tea in the back of my wagon? Damn it!
Exactly.
Don't get in the van. They have bad candy.
Uh, okay, so, um, and Styles, after a long day of working out at the Akashic Temple, comes in a zipped up red hoodie with a muscle shirt and some basketball shorts and flip flops, and comes over to the bar.
Arthur's
Hey,
gonna look over and
Styles.
say, Styles, just the motherfucker I've been looking for.
Okay.
But
Alright.
I would like to point out for posterity that it is only you who call you Oathbreaker.
Who do you call an Oathbreaker?
Just
As I
Him.
said, I
Styles
have a
will just
nickname.
He is an Oathbreaker.
Styles just looking at Dimitri and just like, okay, that's it. But what's up, Arthur?
Sorry, I
Arthur's
didn't
just
hear him.
gonna look very confused.
The Hermetics seem to think names have power, so collecting them can't be bad.
Titles do seem to be a thing around here. Ask Jason.
What title is he on now? I'm just wondering.
Unicorn Wizard, I forget all of them. That's the only one I've remembered.
Did she just say porn wizard?
Unicorn Wizard.
Oh. Slightly
Unicorn is this. Unicorn has kind of taken him under his wing.
Ah.
Yeah. The Sons of Aether have some pretty impressive titles, too. I've got a few myself.
I don't think I have any title except for Banny Verbena. Actually, I'm an Adept of Life now, so go me. And oh yeah, Chosen of Luna. I guess I've been hearing that being tossed around.
Well,
Even though people forget I wasn't actually chosen by Luna, I had to serve penance on her moon.
And if we are indeed giving out titles, Sir Flickerflame Apilude, desperately trying to regain his former position as the court's executioner. At your service.
All
You
right.
seem a little too light and cheery to be an executioner there, bro.
He'll kind
You buzzed on that, what'd you say?
consider all things to be a dance in life.
You buzzed on that, so I missed part of it. What'd you say?
He says, I consider all things to be a dance in this existence. The end is merely the final pirouette.
Yeah, but all creation is alive and innately divine.
Indeed. However, when one allows life to run rampant, it creates chaos. Chaos, in turn, creates interesting situations.
So, in a sense, what you're saying is you practice your own form of control.
He contemplates that for a moment and he says, oftentimes heroes die. Oftentimes villains fall. It is just a good story. So too is a good life.
You'll actually hear Arthur Arthur will actually look extremely puzzled at what he said. Like he's rolling something around in his head.
All right. Well, Serena takes another swig of whiskey and she says, I am Serena Novak, son of Ether, professor, airman in the Royal Ether Nautical Society, scion of Tesla, bearer of the Teleforce device, master of forces.
Oh wow, you guys got all these fancy names, and I'm just Asian runner. I read stuff.
I've got 3 different PhDs, if that qualifies.
I'm still confused about the Fae talking like a fucking Euthanatos. Not just Euthanatos, but I swear I've heard that tripe from a fucking net spider at one point.
You seem to be in a cranky mood tonight, Arthur.
Did you not have fun? Did you not have fun when you had tea?
It was okay. I'm just highly confused because, Fae are all light and cheery, and I swear he just spouted Euthanatos crap.
Oh, he's a bit insane.
Well, aren't we all? But there's,
He poked me in the head 113 times.
Because he liked the number. Yes, I heard the first time.
Well, it's an interesting number.
2 past 11:01.
It's also the sum of two primes. And it's also, two square numbers. It's one moment. I had a thing up about all the stuff for it, but it's a it's the hypotenuse of a Pythagorean triple. It's a Sophie Germain prime. It's got some interesting. It's got some interesting properties. That number it does. It's also 15 to the fourth power minus 1. So.
Where's a member of the frickin' Order of Hermes when I need one? They specialize in numerology.
That's Jason, right? Or is that somebody else?
Jason's a member of the Order, but I don't think he specializes in numerology. He specializes in making shit blow up.
Oh yeah, I've noticed that.
Yeah.
What about
stuff on fire on occasion?
What about Styles? Might he be able to answer anything about that?
Arthur will look over at Styles. Do you know anything about the 113 as far as numerology and mathematics goes? I don't think we have James.
We have lost to James.
Okay.
I will now play taps. No, I'm just kidding.
Right, so Arthur will just look at Alex, who seems lost in his own world. Well, I guess we can ask him later.
Okay, sorry, I'm back.
What do you know about the number 113? Also, I need to talk to you about those fucking circuit boards that you apparently found at Fuijin that that Dimitri over here has a ton of.
Oh, you mean the Bane trap things that.
So somebody's already told you what they do.
Yeah, he did.
Okay, I need to know what the purpose of those things are.
I'm trying to find that out. I currently am trying to finish an upgrade on my laptop, and everything's on my laptop.
I still think the most likely answer to that is there's no purpose for them, and that's why they were sending them to deep water.
Well, no, I talked to Michael last night, who actually has some experience with Guru runes. We think that that's meant to turn whatever electronic or mechanical device into a Fomori.
Yes, you mentioned that when we spoke about it last.
Yeah, well, Michael confirmed it.
Changeling bro, you should recognize Fomori. Or would he?
Who?
And
I would recognize Fomori because he was one.
I'm rolling past lives. Yay.
Nafte dunum acte terni et tu velante torvadar, si in parentes affamor.
Is he speaking Elvish?
No, he's speaking. I don't. Out of character, I speak fluent Irish. I don't get to speak it enough.
No. In character, that's what he said, though.
No. He will respond that he's speaking Irish.
Serena's going to look at. You're playing Styles?
Yes.
All right. Serena's going to look at Styles, and she's going to look at Arthur, and she's going to get up. She's going to say, "Well, I got to redouble my efforts," and she's going to take one more swig of whiskey and then going to head out.
I also got something to tell you about what I found of the fusion, and because it was on the bounty board for the longest time.
What'd you find out?
What is this bounty board, by the way?
Bounties that have been put up by the Emperor. Also, he holds the tarot rank of Emperor. He's also the Bodhisattva, known as Wan Ping. He's part of the host house of the Kuei-jin.
He kind of glances over at Z, like remembering something she'd said. And then glances back over to towards Arthur. So what exactly do these bounties pay then? Currency?
Favors, apparently.
Yeah.
I
Not a
haven't been
bad
able to
thing to have.
complete one, mostly because I've been busy with, keeping people alive, wiping out certain DNA samples from the technocratic construct.
Getting your
What'd you say?
makeover, looking, giving Arthur a devilish grin, just looking at him.
I didn't hear what you said. Sorry, James. What?
Getting your makeover.
He'll run his fingers through his silver hair. I was blonde before, so I don't really mind the change. I do mind the pale skin, though. I look dead.
You don't look too dead.
So,
His skin is like the color of moonlit porcelain. So
Yeah, she said you don't look too dead, just a little translucent.
There are 3 people in this room with pale skin. I don't think any of them look bad in it.
No one knows what color my skin is. Woo!
Okay, 3, possibly 4.
your skin is obviously fuchsia.
Obviously fuchsia. I mean, come on. Where might one avail themselves of this bounty board?
Just my thoughts.
At the, I don't know if Wan Ping has moved it from the temple where the Kuei-jin make their havens. If it's been moved from there to the museum where the new meeting place of the tarot court are.
Out of character, yes, it has.
What?
Out of character, yes, it
Okay.
has.
All right. So you may want to check the museum where the tarot council meets now.
Very good. So, I am also led to understand that there is I was told there was a vacancy on the Tarot Council.
Well, the tarot council has to vote for people to join them. It's not like you can just say your name and you're automatically on it. So making a name for yourself in the city, especially one of familiarity or friendship, is usually a good idea. I hold the rank of temperance. That means that I am responsible for making sure people don't lose their fucking minds.
Although that happens a lot.
A lot. People didn't used to listen to me until I became temperance. That's how the Master Security building got raided, and we almost lost people.
Yeah. Well, the boards, from what I could tell, until I can get off my hands on them, and the information I garnered from my hacking is able to be accessible, I'll share the full information on that. But I found out that yes, it's a front company, but not for Innova.
Okay, so who's actually filling the pockets of Fujin technology?
The pockets of fusion technology is being filled by Pentex.
At that point, Arthur's going to put down his soda, stand straight up, and say, "Are you trying to get me to start drinking again?"
I'm telling the truth, dude. I swear I got evidence on my laptop, especially blackmail. Oh, the blackmail. All the lovely blackmail.
So you're telling me that Worm Central is backing Fujin Technologies and they're just selling these special computer parts to Dimitri, to your former employers?
I find that very unlikely. They've got a little. There's no love lost between the two, as far as I'm aware.
As far as that
goes,
is there
a chance that the dude in white knows that Fujin's being fronted by Pentex, or could they just be looking for cheap materials to act as circuit boards? And Pentex said, "Well, you know what? We're going to find a way to fuck them in the ass with it."
I don't know.
Either is technically possible. Without investigating, we can't know for certain.
Yeah, and I can't investigate any further because I would be going through so many firewalls and fire cans, just going through syntax is not even funny.
Do you
And
need
then,
extra computing power or more hands behind the wheel? Just about everyone in my associate right now is quite skilled with computers.
it's not that. It's more along the lines of what I've found in physical investigation of where I work. Well, the blackmail is before the merger. My boss was taking bribes from Pentex, and then the merger happened. On further digging, he's currently in two affairs, and one of them he likes to dress like a woman.
Dude, you don't
And
know Hong Kong. That's considered normal.
this is true. But also his security that's usually posted around his office is not normal, or should I say monks.
Do you need assistance getting in there?
No, stop, don't. Please listen to people before taking a massive brute squad and raiding the
Not what I was suggesting. I'm not one for raids.
Okay.
I could. Right now, this is more like a long con, but because right now I can get him out of there, but it's more like I need to make sure I can guarantee my life once I get if I present this blackmail to him. But anyways,
You're going to bed? Okay. I've got another dose of green death, so I'll take that first. I've got another dose of green death left, so I'll take that first. No, it's fine. I've got enough for a full dose. I love you. BRB.
alright. Like one other project I have, but I digress. If at all possible, if we can get him out of there, we can get the worm influence away from that company. But it's not also, they're just not, that's not, that's not the only contract they have. They're also making supercomputers for an organization called Task Force Zero.
Oh, I've heard of those guys.
I'd have to ask Brad if I've actually heard of them or not. There's a chance he has.
Let's see, Task Force Zero.
Technically Strike Force.
So what?
Strike Force Zero.
Yeah, I was going to say technically Strike Force Zero. So, boiling it down, what's the current roadblock?
Currently, oh, go ahead.
He was giving a really sarcastic, not sarcastic, but kind of whimsical. He says, "A thing that cars stumble over."
Did they have cars?
I don't ask. My head's already trying to explode because my ADHD's acting up. Just trying to figure out what you just said.
Okay. I know this because I know this. I gotta go find it now.
So, I'm trying to determine what your issue is at the moment. You're trying to locate something, or
back. Sorry about that.
Welcome back.
Well, currently I'm trying to if I can get them merged, but like I said, this is a long con. I wanted to see what exactly are his personal security staff, and otherwise, and what influence and threat and pain he has in his office that I have to be worried about. It's not
Well,
that I can't get in; it's what I'm afraid of what's in there once I get in.
Well, if it's Pentax, it could be anything from Fomori to dudes with high-powered weapons.
Right.
Oh, it could
So
even
yeah,
it could even be a couple of, and at that point he'll actually stop and look down and say, "Fuck me running."
go ahead.
Okay, out of character, Britt. I
Mm-hmm.
know Serena told Adriana about Strike Force Zero, but I can't find it.
Let me check and see. I can't remember if it was in. Was it in the group chat or was it just in me and you talking?
Well, check the me and you talking, but I can't find it. So it might be in the group chat.
Let's see. I'm not seeing it there. It's locked. Yeah, it was a long time ago. I don't see it in there. Basically, what you would have heard from Serena about Strike Force Zero is that it's a multi-governmental task force based in the Asian Rim, with assets from China, Hong Kong, Japan, Taiwan, Korea, Vietnam. Basically, any place that might have either a more civilized governmental status. Definitely not North Korea, because North Korea is still a bunch of cloistered a-holes. But yeah, their whole purpose is cataloging, hunting down, capturing, and extermination of supernatural beings.
Hunters.
Just
They're the
because
government's
I
answer.
need to kind of back out. So Shar will stand and he will bow to the collective group and he will say, "So, it's either in the temple or the museum then I must go to find this bounty board, yes?"
Correct. It's there. It's actually on the forums. It's listed in.
News in advance.
You can find it on the bounty board. I can't remember where it is right now, but
It's
located
cool.
there.
I will look and I will find. He will kind of look at Dimitri and he will say, "Oathbreaker."
Still not answering to that, but go ahead.
You've been answering to it all evening.
Continue.
In fact, by inferring to me calling you it, and then never mind. Did you wish to help me in the bounties? You seemed interested. I would always welcome company.
I'll consider it. I have some people I need to keep organized in the meantime. Might be too much work.
He'll casually shrug and say, "Oftentimes many paths, they all lead certain places. Though you never know, you never see. Always hidden faces." And turn on his heel and walk out.
Bye.
Fairly well.
Really? Because she's adorable.
Arthur just kind of rubs his head at that.
Where's the thing on the forum, by the way? Just asking.
I can't remember. It's.
Okay.
I think it's either in setting info or something else.
News and events.
Because I know
News
it's in the
and
same.
events.
Okay. I know it's in the same place as the descriptions of the major arcana.
Oh.
Arthur's just gonna sigh. And it was turning out to be such a nice evening, wasn't it?
But, yeah, I'm sorry, man.
All right, so Ava, how are you doing?
I am doing alright. How are you?
I'm fine. Sorry I kind of bailed on you last night, but I knew Dimitri was watching over you, but I had to go make sure that, Michael didn't rip somebody's arms and legs off.
It is alright.
Who pissed the little dude off?
No, it was the dude in the mask and his boy toy manservant invited him out for tea. I didn't know what was going to happen, and let's just say that when little Michael gets angry, you don't want to see him angry. So I went to make sure everybody was okay, and I got shanghaied, so to speak.
Oh, God. Oh, and then the one that just left and his boy toy
Well,
tried
it's
to.
this. It's this. Well, I saw what he looked like. He's a boggin, and kind of a
Huh?
Bilbo Baggins kind of person.
Okay.
And he's apparently the dude's manservant. So
Okay.
they have this, TARDIS style conceptual geometry bigger on the inside bullshit going on in their wagon. And I went with them and learned some things. Things I can actually remember because I did not get my ass enchanted. I actually moved myself into the dreaming. What'd you say, James?
He's like, you're gonna have to tell me how you did that.
You don't have the basis for it yet. And I'm not exactly the right person to teach you either.
Okay.
It involves the use of spirits magic.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Glitch in my avatar keeps poking me in the head. You gotta learn more. You gotta learn more.
Well, just learn at your own speed.
Yeah.
So he'll look at Ava. Did you get any? How did you like the waffles? I never got to hear an answer to that question.
It is very different from where I originated from. I'm not used to eating solid foods like that.
Well, there's a whole cornucopia of good food out there. You just have to try it. Wouldn't recommend Greek or Armenian. It tends to be a little heavy.
Not to mention spicy on its own food.
If you can't handle spicy, stay away from anything that's got curry in it.
Alright.
Thai food being one particular one.
Both me and your fiance responded to you in the same way, Ken.
Yeah.
All right. So we'll just look around the group. Then he'll look at the person he actually hasn't met and extend a hand to Ji. I'm Arthur Wainwright of the House of Pentacles. You are?
Oh, nice to meet you, Arthur. See you.
Ji, and are you a member of a house in particular?
We are called the hosts.
Oh, he'll actually bow oh wait, he doesn't have Cantonese or Mandarin. I'm thinking of the wrong person. He'll bow and he'll say, "It's my honor to be a guest in your home."
She will smile. The pleasure is ours.
I don't know if anybody's mentioned me. I'm the current seat of temperance. I'm also the resident heal bot.
I was listening. It seems you do a lot for the community here.
I try my best.
Must keep you busy.
Well, I did spend a month on the moon, so
The
yeah,
actual
kind of.
one.
No, the lunar umbral realm where Luna makes her haven. I asked her for a pretty whopping big favor, gave her a whole bunch of magic for it, and she stuck me on the moon for a month as a lesson.
Hmm.
Well, actually, the terms were I had to sit on the moon while everybody else handled the effing demon issues. God damn it.
So it is true what they say. Selena's a fickle mistress.
Yes, she is. She can be very much the mother, very much the warrior, and very much the capricious mistress. However, she has accepted me as one of her children, so there's something to her motherly nature. And how long have you been in the domain, or have you always been here and I just haven't had a chance to meet you yet?
I've always been here. It's just recently that I returned, and after a fashion, if you understand what I mean.
Well, it's a good thing you managed to miss all the badness with the demons.
Alright, that was Mallory. And he will just sit there and start rubbing his face.
Oh, come on, Styles. You didn't get messed over as bad as everybody else did.
I took freaking hellfire to everywhere, including the face, and then had my avatar slap me.
Yeah, I've had that happen too. Don't forget we lost Jacob in the whole ordeal taking care of Queen Bitch.
Yeah.
And apparently a lot of our wolf friends.
Yeah, that was sad. And the sad thing is that if it hadn't been for that pack of Guru that had come trying to stop the BSDs, there's a chance that they may have survived. I don't blame the Guru. I don't blame the reasons for it. I blame the BSDs for taking advantage of a desperate situation and creating one of their foul, messed up pieces of crap hives in our city.
Do I have to make a lore check to recognize that stuff? I think that's functional knowledge we might be aware of.
Yeah, considering the fact that it was a technocratic hit squad did get called in as well to try to stop the BSD, so it was probably something that may have passed your desk.
You roll for it or just go with it?
Roll for it.
Diff. Diff.
Oh, diff 8.
3.
Okay. There was an instance where the Guru, or it wasn't really known, but for some reason the Guru and the city joined forces with the BSDs to consecrate an infernal node into a hive.
That sounds like a clusterfuck.
A hit squad involving the man in white himself, 2 gray men, and 2 MIB special services were sent out to stop them. And only the man in white returned without his hard suit.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. The hard suit later returned of its own accord.
That's pretty badass.
However, the BSDs were successful in activating their hive, so now there's a fucking hive in the city. Which, when the Black Friars did their special ritual to cleanse the city, that was not cleansed because it was not demonic magic. It was destruction magic, destruction energy.
So, in other words, we just gave them a node.
Pretty much. But
that situation should be corrected.
all but All but 3 of the known shifters in the city were killed in the attack.
So we don't really have the numbers to recover it.
Well, you'll have to talk to the shifters now, won't you? Because there are shifters in the city again. Anyway, that's what you get from Cabal.
Yay.
So the only person that heard the little transaction was him in his earpiece.
Z probably would have heard half of it since she's sitting next to him.
Okay.
Unless she left.
Excuse me 1 minute. I need to blow my nose and I don't want people watching.
God, do you still have a nose?
We saw everything!
You left your camera on, dude.
The horror!
I think he died.
Oh. Are y'all talking about me?
No.
No, but Z does look over. She said, Hellfire.
Yeah.
And you survived.
Needless to say, we had backup when we went and dealt with that.
But who's talking now?
She was asking me about, it was like, so Hellfire, and you survived it.
It's no small feat.
No, especially when he didn't have an actual healer to help him out.
And I gotta admit, the freaking hermetic healer's okay, but she's really clingy.
Do you know how much shit she probably gets dumped on her because she's one of the few actual female mages in that organization?
Probably.
Besides, I know the chick you're talking about, and she wants to make sure you're completely healed before you ever leave medbay.
Yeah. But seriously though, having me be on bed rest for freaking a broken rib, really?
Well, keep in mind that if the consensus saw you take injuries that you shouldn't be able to walk away from, and all of a sudden you're walking around 2 hours later, they tend to take paradox for that. Just like I do. It's why I created my nice little rote so that I don't take the paradox for it. The blunt does, and the blunt takes the paradox by incinerating itself.
Clever.
So
Z kind of looks towards Dimitri, and she's like, this is about consensus again, right?
Yes.
Paradox is a bitch, and the consensus is the one who makes it.
So you're not getting beat up by Wrinkle or one of the other ones?
Yeah, well, Wrinkle's in charge of time, and I stay away from time for very good reason. Because time is the #1 cause of getting fucked in the ass by paradox. If you want to talk to somebody about time, talk to Jackson. Jackson's the resident time expert.
Yeah, and by the way, he may be haunting, stalking us right now, being creepy, as usual.
Yeah, that's true. Has anybody heard from the kid lately?
Which one?
The one that's currently possessed by his old soul.
Oh,
Ping, I think his name is.
Yeah, I saw him twice, and it was with Jackson, so he should be okay if he's still with him.
Okay. Well, I talked to my friend Johnny. He should be in town shortly. He knows a lot about race, so he should be able to help out.
Yay!
Yeah. I just don't know how the hell Sam's manipulating race like that. It doesn't make a lick of sense to me.
Yeah, that's what I want to know too.
Has anybody heard about what this STO thing is anyway? The other thing with the childlike monk?
Strike Force Zero. I know about that.
So they're associated with Strike Force Zero?
Oh, I don't know about the monk, but I know about the Strike Force Zero.
Yeah,
Okay.
I got a address for the warehouse that their computers are being sent to. I just need to get people together for backup to take care of that one.
Well, he'll look at GE. The Western Vamps seem to have dibs on that, so you may want to make sure they're with you on it. He'll look at Adriana. No offense to your kind, I know that I have a hard time differentiating your kind with GE's kind, but make sure that make sure that you guys go through Styles on finding that reliquary you guys are trying to find.
Yeah, I'm working with the kid, the Friar kid too, on trying to locate it.
Reliquary, that rings a bell. Are we looking for something at the moment?
Yeah, oh, go ahead. It's your guys' thing, Adriana.
It is sort of. It's kind of like a sarcophagus kind of thing that we're looking for.
Any idea where to start
What
looking?
is inside of it?
Are we looking under the city? Are we looking in a shipping crate? What are we looking? Somewhere in the city?
Arthur will look at Styles. You're the one who said you figured out they were shipping. The company you're infiltrating was shipping something to them. What was it?
This supercomputers. I got the warehouse where they're shipping it to. This address. I don't have. I don't know if it's there or not, but it's somewhere to look.
If you give me a couple days, I could create a couple little props that might help a couple people investigate it, provided they return them afterwards. Otherwise, it'll be useless now to make new ones.
Arthur will look over at Adriana. That'd be you and Anemone's deal, whether or not you want to go through on that.
I'm sorry. I was reading
no.
the thing.
Okay. He'll say that'd be you and Anemone's deal as far as if you want to work with Dimitri's little prop thingies.
Might help you stay out of unfriendly eyes.
Did you ever figure out what they're using those supercomputers for?
He'll say what they do, but James out of character is drawing a blank at the moment.
They're genetic decoders, and they're specifically set up for non-human genomes.
They're genetic decoders specifically set for non-human genomes. Basically, they're trying to genetically replicate the supernatural DNA or analyze the supernatural DNA for genetic research.
So I just kind of curious now as to what exactly is inside that sarcophagus.
I am too, a little bit.
Whatever it is, I don't think we want my former employers to have it.
Well, if it is Strike Team Zero, I don't think they have anything to do with your former employers.
If they know
Strike Force Zero.
If the government is doing something in the city, and from what I just heard, this Strike Force Zero is somehow attached to the government, if they're doing something like this in the city, it's very possible that my former employers would have heard of it, and if they find out there's something like this being taken out of the city, I think they'll decide to take ownership of it. Can't discount the possibility.
Wonderful.
Oh, we gotta get that thing quick. They can't have it. Remember what you had to do for the DNA samples?
Do you mean how I had to nuke a Novatech with a fucking solar flare from the moon?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It'd be,
I'm keenly aware of that.
okay. It'd be a worse situation if they got hold of the thing in the sarcophagus.
Then the less
Okay.
said about it, the better.
Yeah, but we're gonna have a talk, you, me, and Prince Becker later on about exactly what's in that sarcophagus.
I ought to check some sources first, but
Check your sources. Don't say anything untoward, because I don't want you getting in trouble like uh, uh, Dexter used to get in trouble. So,
I gotta be careful about what I say.
yeah.
Anyways, BRB.
Well, if scouring the city is what's needed, that I'll see if my assistance is at all desired. But whatever it is, I think that should be handled quickly.
Yeah, when vampires are nervous, because according to Friar to Brother Bartholomew, it's a reliquary belonging to the Franciscan order.
Some sort of bygone artifact or just a historical piece. I can't imagine they'd be doing this for a historical piece.
Neither can
More
I.
like bygone art. It's more like bygone artifact because it emanates the same presence of true faith as he does.
Then why are they bringing it? Or is this not attached to the supercomputer DNA analysis? Two separate issues?
Could it be the blood of a saint, maybe?
Oh dear God, I don't think we want that.
Oh God, yeah. Let's put it this way: that could be scary. But then again, if it's a sarcophagus, they're probably want to analyze the DNA of what's inside.
So
So,
you think there's a body inside the reliquary, is what you're saying?
yeah, if it's a sarcophagus, more than likely there is a body or something attached to a piece of a body.
It could be a body part of a saint. It could be any number of things.
Yeah.
Or the entire saint.
Did the friar ever give you any idea of like what this relic was called? I mean, it's got to be documented somewhere.
He allowed me to use my magic on a gauntlet that led me to my magic led me to a grave in somewhere in Western Europe.
Could I have the name possibly, or should I wait again and find out?
Brett, was it a marked grave or was it a marked grave?
It was an unmarked grave, but you know that it dated back to 1100.
It was an unmarked grave that was dated out from the 1100s AD era.
That's a little far back to go digging.
Yeah, unless we get a hold of Jackson on this and have him start being all creepy in the 1100s era.
Adriana, we're thinking that there's the body of a dead saint in that thing. Did the friar give you a name that associated with the relic?
She's gonna cover her face.
Is this another thing you need to confer with your elders on?
Maybe.
I don't think we're getting another word on the topic, to be quite honest.
Yeah, so let's change the subject. So we know where that is. We know what's going on with those. I have a strong suspicion that those circuit boards from Legion are meant to transform fucking robo suits into fucking Fomori. Do I have an agreement on that idea?
Yes. but apparently those Fomori would probably be coming out of deep water because they were heading that way.
Until Dimitri here hijacked the shipment. Are they
Yeah.
sending more? Awesome, bitch. When do they get there?
Dimitri.
I'm listening. I didn't hear it.
Apparently there's a new shipment of those pieces heading to Deepwater facility.
Blow up the boat?
Where's the boat?
You're not. You're. Go ahead.
I'm not connected to the network anymore. I would have to, even attempting to access the network to find that information would be as good as hanging a neon sign over our heads.
Yeah.
That's a good point taken there.
He's got a point after the whole thing at the walled city. I kind of had some help in the raid, info raid on fusion tech by some
just gonna give him a weird look. Help.
Yeah, I still don't know who or what the fuck it was. It was benevolent for then. But I had a feeling if I fucked up or try to hack something huge, it would show up one more time. It would show up again. Because after that incident, it was gone. No trace of it was in my system whatsoever.
Arthur's gonna look at Dimitri. I think you or Oscar might have a clue on what was burrowing its way through Styles' computer.
Might have an inkling.
So where's
nothing I can truthfully say I haven't heard about this up till now, though.
He'll look at Styles. So that thing left your computer while you're still inside Fujin, huh?
Actually, it was after I returned to my office, but yeah. It actually gave the suggestion of the upgrade I'm currently doing on the laptop, which should be finishing up in like a few minutes.
Well, Mazel Tov.
Did it have sort of a attitude about it?
Well, at the time I wasn't thinking about it, but it's because it was basically acting like any other normal computer hacker. But now that you mention it, looking back on it, there was like an unusual flair to the attitude, though.
I'm going to open up my tablet while he's talking and just tap 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 tap. Cabal, do you know anything about this?
Before our separation from the collective, I had heard rumors that there were active VI interfaces running through Hong Kong as data miners, in case anybody was dumb enough to wirelessly hack the systems.
Why would it have been helping him, though?
Maybe because he helped it with something? I don't know. They're tricky little things. They have a very limited capacity for intelligence, and depending on the programmer, as you all know, a certain flair for whimsy.
He looks up. Apparently, it may have been a sort of VI, but I wouldn't trust it.
Well, so far it's I give it props, but not my trust on the upgrade.
Give it.
So go ahead.
It may very well have been. If it is, there's a chance it may be something that was created by my former employers. I don't think you want that having any position to screw you over.
Yeah. But it was a normal upgrade suggestion. I found it on eBay, of all places.
If you, Cabal will then pick up, if you're worried about his system being compromised, you can link me to it. I can go through it really quickly.
Didn't you already do that once?
Yeah, but he's put something new in his computer. Last time I went through it was clean. There was no trace of any type of data miner. Had a couple of porn spywares, but that's nothing to be concerned about. I got rid of those quickly.
Of course.
well-
I'm sure he doesn't visit any of those sites. I'm sure.
I can't verify from our last scan.
Make sure you. I hope you still have memory of what sites and stuff stored in blackmail material. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding.
I will. Styles is like, I'll allow your AI to look into my computer just to make sure.
All right. Send him a link.
Right.
All right.
So, you'll see he'll spawn a mini cabal and shove it into the computer. After about 5 minutes, it'll come back. No, it's mostly hardware with a couple of systems recommendations, some ways to bypass the bad stuff on Windows 10.
Basic stuff, then. You're clean.
I will say, though, that the hardware recommendations he gave were quite useful. He's not up to my specifications, but maybe he could help our newest associate with new technology, since he doesn't have access to any of his old stuff.
Yes, Styles, there's someone you might want to meet in the near future.
Oh.
At least I'm assuming that's who Cabal was talking about, right? Fair assumption.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
We've had a third addition to our number. Without getting into details, they're cut off from some of their tools. They might need someone to talk to set up their hardware.
All right. Send him my way. Cabal has my contact information.
I have more than that. He went visiting the porn sites again. I cleared out all that malicious spyware, but he needs to be more careful.
Jesus Christ. Never mind.
You don't hear that, so.
Yeah, I know. He's just sighing a little bit, and he just kind of looks over it at Styles. You know those give you spyware, right?
Yeah, basically, I was using them to see about new.
You don't even need to. No, don't even bother. Just be aware. Use protection.
I know.
At this point, Cabal's going to spawn another mini Cabal and send it into the computer. And then come back, and on the computer you now have Spybot anti-spyware premium.
Is that the one that's actually spyware?
Yes. No, it's the one that actually hunts down and destroys spyware.
Nice.
Now, as long as you don't visit Pornhub, you'll be safe.
Cabal will send back a text to you that says, I gave him a program that should help him in the future. Just make sure he runs it every night, apparently.
Yes, he passes that information along, just like,
okay.
Why am I enabling him? Get a girlfriend!
Blimey, Jeff, get a girlfriend.
Does he say that out loud?
No, he doesn't say the girlfriend thing out loud. No.
He just looks at Dimitri. Okay, I get lonely considering my freaking girlfriend got captured. So sue me.
Captured by?
Arthur's just looking at this and so random topic of interest. I understand that the sports team is doing differently this year from last year. Is it a positive or a negative change?
Thank you, Arthur. Thank you.
I'll take that to mean it was my former employers.
Yes. Or I think it was your former employers. It's I'm assuming she's with my brother Scott right now, in the barrier underneath Innova.
Yes, they're essentially untouchable at this point. Then, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, nowhere near ready to work.
Yeah, and especially from the technocracy, considering they haven't found out their presence as of yet, from what I could tell.
That sounds disconcerting.
Well, it's the same shield. Apparently, it's the same. Definitely the same shield we encountered when uh, dipshit tried to teleport us to Hellfire Bitch. But it's definitely fueled by by true faith in the divine, not the infernal.
So wait, there's something there that's fueled by true faith. Maybe you should have talked to Blackfriars while they were still in town.
I tried to, but he's all he said was everything in due time.
Mm-hmm. Sounds like a priest to me.
Yeah, and that was the kid.
Oh wait, that was the boy monk.
Yes. I'm still trying to figure out how that works. He's no older than freaking Michael, and he's a monk.
Yeah, well, we all know how Michael's special, and the monk is apparently a vampire. But I thought that they had to. I thought that they didn't embrace people under a certain age.
It's been known to happen, but I think there's some sort of stigmata against it.
Yeah, at least now. When he was embraced, there couldn't have been any such taboos.
Jesus, how old is this kid?
He looks 12, but he could be freaking thousands of years old.
Well, damn.
My magic's only see him only halfway, and I don't have time magic to actually clock his age going backwards.
Yeah, that'd be another thing we'd need Jackson for.
Yeah, and
Jackson is a time walker of some kind.
He's a member of the Order of Hermes. I believe he's House X Miscellanea. He has access to the time sphere at a level that is such that I have access to life sphere. And
I'm in correspondence.
Yeah. Actually, we're both kind of above you, dude. I think you're still a disciple where we're both adept level. But
right.
He's also he does his best to appease Wrinkle, which I think after what happened to me with the frickin' mac and cheese and the absinthe, I think calling attention to paradox spirits is a bad idea.
I'm not even going to ask.
One of the reasons why I don't drink anymore.
You do realize I'm still probably having nightmares because y'all made me flip out because I was asleep during that time.
Yeah, that wasn't a good situation. Never let two disciple level mages drink absinthe and then think of things to do afterwards.
And they wonder why we try to regulate it.
Hey, it's not my fault. Jason had a very good argument that if we offered a Paradox Spirit truffle bacon mac and cheese, it might be cool.
Oh God!
He's just shaking his head right now, just like.
I mean, it's a good bowl to eat when you want a small lunch, but Offering chiminage offering that is chiminage to a paradox spirit. I don't want to know, especially the fact that I was in a crossfire effect of what you all did.
Absinthe was involved, that's all I'll say.
Well, let's see, to sum up, there's a whole bunch of things going on right now that could use some attention, but it seems that most of them are already spoken for.
Yep.
The reliquary I would need to speak to Becker about to see if there's any way to assist in that regard. Or have they openly asked the city for anyone to help with it?
As far as I know, they've been asking for help, particularly the friar Brother Bartholomew.
How would one get a hold of them?
Arthur will look at Styles.
Becker, I can try and find get a hold of him again because I have his cell phone number right here. Because pass it to Dimitri.
Who NPCs it?
It's Becker. It's Julia's venture prince.
Oh, okay.
Well, I was giving him Brother Bartholomew his cell phone number.
Oh, Brother Bartholomew is my NPC.
Okay, that's what I was asking.
Okay.
Yeah, I know who plays Becker. Yeah, okay.
He doesn't have Becker's cell phone number, although I need to talk to Julia with her and Silas at some point.
Yeah, that's weird. Okay. He looks at the phone and goes, "You might want to be the one initially speaking. I'm not sure if, from what little I understand of their culture, they're not exactly the most trusting. You might need to introduce me, at least as an interested party."
Okay. Will do. I'll set up a meeting for later.
Well, you can do it over the phone if you like. I'm just saying you would need to be the one calling.
Yeah.
At this point, Arthur's going to give a yawn, shake his head, and say, well, you guys don't give away the homeworld. I'm going to go commune with my mother. Have a good night.
Tell Luna I said hi.
The less she knows about you, the better. And look at Ava and say goodbye, and look at G and say goodbye, and then head out the door.
Tell her she's a saucy bitch.
I'll tell her you said that. And I think he says as he wants.
All of a sudden, Dimitri gets raped by several room looms.
Yeah. Oh God! Oh why? Oh God! Oh why? You know why?
Oh God. Okay. So does Styles call the number? Or...
Yeah, he will call Brother Bartholomew's number.
Give me a minute. Alright, so picking up the phone. Good evening. How may I help you, my child?
Hi, Brother Bartholomew. It's Styles. I was calling you about introducing you to an interested party in the search for the reliquary.
Very well. Where shall I meet you?
Emerald Mother?
I'll be there shortly.
Alright. See you in a minute.
He'll hang up.
And he'll hang up. He's coming.
Excellent. Looks over at Z and he's thinking for a second. Just out of curiosity, I don't suppose you have any aversion to the sewers other than their smell? That was to Z, by the way. Okay, sorry.
Oh.
I know it's a log seat. I'm sorry.
It's super. The offense are deeply spiritual.
Just mentioning it as a possibility. If this sarcophagus is located somewhere in the city, we've got no guarantee it's above ground. But hopefully we can find some other method for scouring that much ground. I don't think we want to be perusing miles and miles of tunnels.
You don't want to know how unhappy I would be if it was in the sewers.
I can imagine. As I said, simply wonder. He's already thinking about ways to make drones that could go down there. With all the roboticists we've got on staff and our production capabilities, we could probably make a small army.
Alright, after about 10 minutes, you'll see a young boy, look of French origin, walk through the door wearing the robes of a Franciscan monk. For anybody that can actually feel it, he radiates true faith on the level 1 true faith.
For this, I have to turn my camera on one moment. No, fortunately, no, I don't have that reaction.
He actually looks to be breathing, has a blush of stealth because he's Humanity 10 because you have to beat up True Faith 1.
Yeah.
He'll look around at the assembled group and walk over to Styles and bow his head. I have come as you have asked, my child. How may I help you tonight?
Alright, I've brought you somebody that might be able to help. This is Dmitry Dragomir of the house, fellow housemate of House Pinnacles. Ex-progenitor.
Sure.
Afraid I have no idea what a progenitor is.
And that works out it's quite all right. That works out best for everyone.
Yeah.
He'll bow his head. Brother Bartholomew of the Franciscan Order, kindred of Clan Bruja.
Do I know offhand any? I'm
Probably
assuming
don't have any knowledge of clan, but
except that they're different genetic strains, essentially, of the same disease. Different traits.
Quite the peaceful, friendly individual as well.
Oh, so he's probably one of those. What are they called? He's probably the type that has auspex, celerity, and presence, right? They're the peaceful ones.
Nope.
I'm just saying he doesn't know.
Yeah.
He doesn't know the name.
No, whenever he introduces himself as Bruja, there's always a what the fuck sort of situation going on.
Oh, yeah.
In character, Styles does not have any knowledge of vampires.
Yeah.
Out of character, I'm trying to wrap my head around this.
Well, Bruja used to be philosophers and scholars and stuff like that a long time ago.
Yeah.
Back in the days of Carthage.
And they still had their rage back then. Some people are just better at hiding it.
And they also had temporis. No, just kidding.
No.
Don't tempt me. When I first ran into this character, he was on his way to learning temporis, so I could have had to come in like that.
Okay, so
back in character.
Yes, Dimitri just nods. You're searching for a specific for some sort of sarcophagus, I hear.
Yes, that's correct.
And you have reason to believe it is somewhere in the city, but other than that, high or low, in someone's possession, as yet undiscovered. No idea?
I've traced the individuals that exhumed it from its resting place underneath Strasbourg on the Rhine to this location. A member of Clan Malkavian saw it in a vision associated with the letters STO.
STO.
At that
Strike
point,
Force
Styles would remember Strike Team
0.
Omega.
Yes, they're called Strike Team Omega.
Are they a modern outfit? They sound
I
like it.
I believe they're associated with the organization of Strike Force Zero.
I can probably find them. Do you want the item retrieved as well, or would you rather that information be relayed to you?
I would prefer to be there myself when it's opened up.
Anyways,
I would prefer it not be opened up, actually, but I need to be there when it's recovered, just in case the worst happens. There's
understood.
another individual in the city that is seeking it as well, a member of Clan Zamache, known as Zalish.
Is she cooperating with us on this venture, or?
He is not. He is one of my kind. In fact, a long time ago we were allies. However, certain schisms occurred, and he is now a mortal enemy.
So what you're saying is we need to find this object, and there's a rival vampire, pardon my term, searching for it, and we need to make sure that we find it before them.
Yes, that would be correct.
All right. Yes. I think I can help with that. Let's see. He just kind of jots it down, forwarding the information back to Cabal. Strike Force Zero, Strike Team Omega.
Cabal will send back something. Strike Team Omega, they never go in the field.
Scale 1 to 10, how worried should we be?
They're pencil necks, research analysts, things like that. They may have a couple of hired guns or other strike teams associated with them that are adding protection, but they're research analysts. They're the ones that pull all the information out of supernaturals.
He just looks over. So they sent analysts into the field? That's like sending myself. That's like sending me into the field, or Asuka. That's not a good tactic.
Are you saying that to Cabal, or are you saying that to everybody else?
He's saying that to Cabal, but you can hear him.
Okay. Yeah. Cabal just sends back. Maybe this was supposed to be a routine archaeological find.
Wouldn't it make sense for them to have sent someone more capable afterwards?
Well, like I said, they probably have people covering them.
Understood. All right. We'll attempt to find some information about it. I'll talk to you about this later, Cabal. And he looks back over towards the brother Bartholomew. Yeah, I can English good at midnight.
I can talk good at midnight. Oh, I'm fine.
No. Anyways, all right, and this is he just like kind of shrugs. Consider this just a favor to the princedom of the city, or I assume this is on her behalf.
Actually, this is being done on my behalf. It is,
but with her blessing, I'm assuming, or something. I don't know how the politics work.
You'd be correct. I'm here. My kindred are only allowed in the domain as long as the prince wills it. She could have sent me on her way, however, she realized the gravity of the situation. We're talking about something that was entrusted to the Order of St. Francis a long time ago.
Understood. Well, I will see what I can determine. It may take a couple days. Once I have a location or something more to go on, I will send you information. I've got your number. Actually, with that, I should probably get going and start work on it immediately. I might be able to find something useful. Got a few extra hands around. Kind of nods over towards Ava.
He'll nod his head to Ava, and he'll make a motion and say "In nomine Patria Filii Spiritus Sancti," and then make the sign of the cross.
Sounds I definitely can't. I'm not playing my vampire. I'm not playing my vampire.
May the Lord guide you and your hand on your journey. At which point he'll look to the others, bow his head, and turn and walk out.
Ziggy will bow in return. There's some really old equation that radiates that power of belief as well, so she definitely thinks that she should at least be respectful.
Mm-hmm.
Styles will bow. I gotta admit, he's pretty nice, although really mature for his age, or physical age.
I don't think his physical age matters much anymore, do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, he looked like he was about, underneath the robes, or underneath the hood, he looked like he was about 13 years old.
So, the age of puberty. Yeah, life was so much and more simpler before that. That night, me and Scott walked into the forest, and magic and the spirits came into our lives. Last month, about sometime a few months ago, I was trying to take down a bitch that throws hellfire. This month, I'm talking to a 13-year-old Franciscan monk.
Bill will just chime up, imagine what you'll do tomorrow.
Right.
As the curse goes, I think it says, may you live in interesting times.
He'll nod his head. Sometimes more interesting than others.
Well,
with
gentlemen,
that,
it's been a pleasure.
Yeah, so I must be taking my leave as well, actually.
I think I will return to some of my affairs. I look forward to meeting you all again.
Oh, I'm sorry. My apologies before you leave. I said completely rude. The name Styles.
Styles.
From the
Z
House
will
Mandibles.
walk over and shake his hand. Z,
From
I'm one of the house, she says.
As he finishes shaking your hand, he'll bow and say, "My apologies. You're about the third of the equation. And my stay here. Jolie being one of them."
Jolie is quite wise. He has a wisdom that will hopefully see us through these turbulent times.
Hopefully.
All right.
Although I just hope he doesn't go into a madness realm again.
She kind of cocks her head oddly at that, but she doesn't say much. She's like, well, if you all will excuse me, she will bow him.
All right, we'll go ahead and call the scene here. James, you want to take us out?
Sure. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, STs, for STing and trying to be stubborn, because we all know you're loopy-fied. And as we all know, stay away from the creeper wagons and vans.
All right, go
Get
ahead and
in
fill
the
us all.
candy van.